Hey guys, good afternoon. I'm Randy and I'm joined here with Mason. Hello. From Integrity Pool Builders. We're on site in Greenwood Village to discuss a project we wrapped up this last fall with you guys. Mason, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so this is a refurbish that we started late last summer, wrapped up in the fall. Um, Pretty much everything we did new. We have all new equipment from Pentair. We upgraded them to a high efficiency heater, variable speed pump, high flow cartridge filter, um, all new auto cover from Mizu with their tan auto cover fabric, all new pool lights. We have Fujiwa waterline tile and sunbench tile. And we'll get you another shot of this, but we actually added in a structural sunbench to the pool that wasn't already in here. That way, the homeowners have an area for them to lounge around in that wasn't there previous. It was just a set of entry steps. So really went above and beyond on this one. The deck stayed the same. The coping was an exposed sand finish coping that we did in the color Desert Tan. Overall, really fun project. Wrapped up beautifully, and really not much else you could add on a refurb on this one. You pretty much did it all.
No, we were able to really transform this backyard into something fun and
Yeah.
special and very user friendly for this homeowner. Not only did the new equipment make it more energy efficient and more usable, um, the new auto cover and hidden stones, along with the sun bench, made it very user friendly for them and their family to have fun. All right, I'm at the auto cover switch. This is our Cover Star locking auto cover switch. Right now, it's locked. To unlock, simply insert the key, give it a quarter turn, and then that opens up and exposes our switch. From here, to open your cover, you want to be able to see your cover. So right now, I can see all of the pool, and I am going to push the switch down to the uncovered position, and I'm going to hold it there. If the cover starts to move one side and the other doesn't, stop. You know, have the cover checked out, see what's going on. But if both sides are going and it's moving smoothly, keep holding it down until the cover gets all the way open. And you want to stop shy, maybe 6, 8 inches shy of where you want the cover to stop, and just kind of give it a couple taps into position. You never want to open or close the cover into either end. You can actually break things and wear things out prematurely. So when you get to the end, give it a couple taps just like that, and then you are all good. Pool is now open and ready to use. Simply to close it, the reverse order. Open up the cover switch, and then you're going to push the up position to cover. And again, when the cover gets all the way to the end, don't run it into the end of the pool. You can wear things out and break ropes. You know, maybe 6, 8 inches shy. Stop and then give it a couple taps. I'll do that here in a second when it gets there. Well, it'll be more than a second. Sorry, it'll be probably about 20 seconds. Covers are a little bit slower closing than they are opening. The reason behind that is the cover to close, the mechanism actually pulls the ropes all the way down the track and back through pulleys. So there's a lot more resistance to close an auto cover than it is to open an auto cover. Because to open an auto cover, the drum just turns, opening the cover. So there's less resistance and it's easier. So of course, when there's less resistance on a motor, it goes quicker in the opening position. We're about 6 or 8 inches away right now. So I'm going to stop real quick and just give it a couple little taps, just like that. Till it's in the proper position. Auto cover is now sealed, safe, and we're going to lock it and remove the key. These keys are a universal fit, so our maintenance techs have the master key. So you can lock your cover switch and keep the keys out so that the kids can't get in here. And then our maintenance techs, when we come to maintain or service your pool, they'll have theirs and they can open this up and gain access to your pool. So you don't have to leave your key in it. I know some people do, but it's actually preferred for safety reasons that you don't. And if you ever lose them, we do also have backup sets for you as well.
Do's and don'ts as it pertains to operating the automatic pool cover. First and foremost, you want someone who's operating this cover to be an adult or a responsible person that's not under the influence of alcohol or any sort of substances that could alter your presence and your ability to be vigilant to what's happening at the cover. It is very important as you're operating it that you can be vigilant for a few different reasons that I'll cover. First and foremost, you want to make sure that while you're operating the cover, no one is inside the pool or on the fabric as you're operating it. So before you even go over to the switch, do a quick look around the pool, make sure one, no one's on the fabric, and two, no one's still swimming, diving for rings or scuba diving, just lounging in a sitting bench. You want to make sure that everyone's clear of the pool before you go to operate it. Once you verified that, you can go to your cover switch location and begin to operate the pool, whether it's opening or closing. That whole time being vigilant to make sure no one gets on the cover or hops in the pool while you're operating the cover. That's why it's very important that you are of sound mind while you're operating the cover and you're being vigilant. It's real easy for someone to jump in there as you're not paying attention. And obviously that could cause entrapment issues. So we want to avoid that by being vigilant. And if someone does jump in the pool while you're operating the cover, to immediately stop operating the cover until that person gets out. Some other do's and don'ts that we want to go over as far as operation is checking and seeing how the cover is operating while you're opening or closing it. It's going to be normal as you're carrying this large tarp essentially across the water for there to be some times where the cover gets hung up, hesitates for a moment, gets hung up for brief moments in time. You also may see some alignment issues from one side to the other. One side is opening or closing faster than the other. As long as we're in about a 2 to 4 inch offset from one side to the other, there's not great concern from that. That's pretty normal as you operate a cover. You're going to see that quite a bit. What we're going to want to keep an eye out for is if that offset gets more than 6 inches. At that point, you're going to want to stop operating the cover and get a professional out here. Likewise, while it's normal for it to hesitate or to get snagged in some certain spots, if it comes to a complete dead stop and you can't operate it even though you're holding down on the switch, don't operate it anymore. Don't force it. Call your local professional out here to come assess why that has occurred. It could be something bound up in the mechanism. It could be a broken slider. It could be some broken ropes. But whatever it is, we don't want to continue to try to force it because it could cause more damage to other components on the auto cover system. So if you run into any issues, contact a professional. We'll come out here as soon as we can to assess the situation, get it back on operating perfectly fine. Another question I get a lot of is if I have rain or water that accumulates on our auto cover fabric, how do I get it off? Real easy answer is this auto cover pool pump that we have. These will be supplied to our clients at the time of startup. If you don't have one of these, reach out to your pool professional. I'm sure they can supply you with one. Getting one of these on is super simple. All you're going to do is connect a hose bib to this side of the pump, thread that on there, and then you can either run it out to landscape or into your pool skimmer to fill your pool with that rainwater. Plug the pump into your nearest outlet, and then simply place it on the auto cover fabric. What's really cool about these pumps is you can actually leave those on even when there's not water in there. There's a built-in float switch that will sense whether there's water. If there's not, it doesn't turn on, doesn't engage, doesn't pump off any water. So you're not going to run it dry with it sitting on there with no water. As soon as it rains, then the water accumulates to the point where it'll engage the pump. It'll begin to pump off the water. Once all the water's pumped off, it will no longer be on. It'll shut it off until that float switch engages again. So you can leave it on at all times. You can take it off if you're going out of town or there's a storm coming in. You can place it on in advance without having to worry about water getting stuck on there if you're not paying attention to it at all times. So those are some of the frequent questions we get and some do's and don'ts on auto cover fabrics. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to your pool professional for more tips and tricks.